I can't see if the camera's going. Yep, it's going. Hi guys, here we are. You're at Friggin' Jeep. My name's John and I created all this mess. And as you can see, if you're new here, I got lots of mess. This is what I call my low-income housing parts department. And it looks like I gotta jack that one up a little bit. These are all just freestanding pallets that are hand built out of all pressure treated wood that's thrown away, and it just stores a bunch of stuff. But I got that so when the water melts, well, I guess that one's going that way, so it'll be fine. Anyway, not getting into anything. I don't know if I wouldn't call it depressed, sad, or frustrated, or I don't know the feelings I'm having right now. And here's what it's all about. You got a absolutely gorgeous day. The sun is out. It's not beastly cold. There's no wind. And it's a perfect day for getting out in the woods and getting firewood out. If you drag it out in log form, it's not going to get real muddy because there's not mud out. It'll slide across the snow. But here's what the thing is. I ain't as agile as I used to be 20 years ago. So to be goofing around in the woods when it's slippery with a chainsaw in your hand or running equipment and stuff like that, because you will slide around in this stuff, it's probably just not the best thing. It's just not good. It's not smart to do, okay? When I was a little more, think of a tree as a mousetrap. Every tree is a mousetrap when you go to cut it down. And when you start sawing on that mousetrap or nibbling at the cheese, where you're cutting that tree at with your chainsaw, you're nibbling on that cheese. And if you think about it, you probably don't catch real young mice in the mousetrap because they're babies. The teenagers that think they know it all, the gray ones when we're dealing with deer mice, you catch them because they don't have any common sense and don't know what's going on, and the old timers just don't move as fast to get out of the way when that bar comes down. So most of the time, probably when you miss the mouse in the mousetrap, it's probably just kind of a middle-aged mouse, if you can relate to that. I don't move fast, so when I'm nibbling on that big piece of cheese in that 100-foot mousetrap, I can't get out of there and might slip and all that kind of stuff. So I got to take it advantage. So it's kind of frustrating not to, in a perfect wood day, not to be out there getting it. So, in that mind, talk to Tony at Cool Tools on the phone today. We talk once a month or so. Great guy to talk to, listen to. I really enjoy jabbering with him. I enjoy jabbering with everybody. And we got to talking about what YouTube does for me. Now, some people do it for the income. Some people do it for, I don't know. And it's replaced something in my life. The money is nice. I don't make that much money. And all the money I've put, like I was telling him, has always gone right into the bank. Anytime you see me buy something, that's because I sold something else. That's why I had money to buy this. I don't touch house money, which I'm not allowed to. I would probably get my fingers broke by the boss if I did that, which is probably a wise thing because I'd buy everything. You'd have to see, and I'm a pack rat. Most of the stuff I got here, it's not bought. It was all throwaway. My new blue trash can, which you guys didn't see, was a throwaway, and it came out of down here. Actually, I had all that stuff in the trash can. I gotta get that back up on there on the shelf. Anyhow, what YouTube has done for me is given me a whole new group of friends, or a whole new group of people that I really enjoy talking to. So that's probably what YouTube means to me most, is you guys out there, the good ones. There's a few that are kind of just trying to aggravate you a little bit, and they do aggravate me from time to time, but I haven't gotten one in a while. So y'all good crew out there. Anyhow, go up and check out Tony at Tony's Cool Tools. He demonstrated a new log splitter for kindling made by Cord King, and they are calling it the Kindling King, which I thought about making one a couple years back. I might have mentioned it. My beer can cruncher is kind of this same idea. I've made a couple electric log splitters that were pretty nice. And the old beer can cruncher, when I had the fast hydraulic pump on it, was really fast. So Yeah, I've made them and I've thought about it, but what do I need kindling for? I got buckets of kindling. In fact, we'll take you over there. If you guys know me, I got tons of kindling over here. And I'm not in the market to try to get myself into, I don't sell the stuff anymore. There was a time where I sold the stuff. There's that load of stuff I picked up to go down there and get respit. See all these piles of kindling over here? Here's firewood, here's firewood, here's firewood, there's firewood over there. I have plenty of firewood if you're asking. Look at all this. I got tons of kindling, just tons of kindling. Tons of kindling. It comes off the sawmill. That's a monstrosity I gotta get back into after the squirrels screwed it up. Anyway, go up and check that out. And there's another real good channel that you want to go check out right now that I've been watching. It's kind of really good. Russ at, I think it's Willie's Firewood. I'm old and senile, forgive me. He's getting a new splitter by Allwood, and I'll be interested to see that. It's extremely fast, and I think in the past my splitter's pretty fast. Fastest one on YouTube. I think that one's faster. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it a little closer, but there's a point where when I made my wood splitter 50 years ago and it was extremely fast and people wanted to borrow it, I would not loan it to them. I would go out and split the wood for them and help them and assist them because it was just extremely fast. Until you work with an extremely fast log splitter, you have no concept of what it's about. The only one that I know of that every time he talks and he talks fast is Phil up at I can't remember. It's Phil and his wife. Anyhow, you guys probably know because you watch all of them. Anyhow, when he's running that one splitter, that's fast. That might be faster than mine. I don't know. But anyhow, until you run one that's that fast, that's why I would never loan that out. And another thing that I always made sure was the person that's running the lever splits the wood. You never let somebody else that's helping you pull the lever on that log splitter unless you specifically say pull the lever, because you can get into a bad situation real quick that way. So that's one of the reasons, or a couple of the reasons, I never loaned that splitter out. What else? I guess I might have jabbered about enough. You know, the mousetrap, why I'm not going out cutting trees down right now, but I should be. I like cutting them this time of the year. I'm back and forth because the brain remembers stuff, you know, intermittently. It skips, okay, or goes from treetop to treetop to treetop to treetop. I don't know. You know, you guys know me. And I already lost the train of thought of what I was talking about. Oh, I don't know. Anyhow, what I'm down here doing is I'm going to play with this thing here because there's not too much wind. It's not terribly cold. It is chilly. And this is what we're working on. This thing doesn't like to idle right. And so I'm going to pull the top off this carburetor, which you can kind of see the top. I got a flashlight in there so you can kind of see it better. You can kind of see it both ways. I can see it better with this. I have to take the choke off, which is this screw here, and then it's just a L bracket here. I want to look down in there because it just doesn't, I don't like the way it runs. I don't have much carburetor cleaner. I like the old 2+2. I dug these two cans up of something. This one's a CRC, which they've gotten so environmentally correct, they don't do the job that like they used to, like the good old 2+2. It doesn't matter how you spray it, you always get it in your eye. It burns like heck for a minute and then it's gone. So anyhow, I'm going to take the top off of this carburetor and I'll bring you back. There's not much point in you watching me undo 1, 2, it looks like 4 screws. I'll bring you back when I pull the top off so I can look down in there and see what's going on. So we'll be back in a little bit. Look at that lightning. Well, I told you I'd bring you back. Got the screws out and had to put the screwdriver under here and loosen it. I know there's a gasket under here, so I want to be very gentle. So far I don't see anything that's not nice. I don't know about this gasket. I'm very scary about it. Man, I'm already trying to lose the screws. Whew, I can't get to the jet that I want to get to is right there. And I want to look down underneath the floats. They seem to be floating real good. So I don't really see an issue there. I don't know what their float setting is supposed to be. It's got build up around here. Anyhow, I got to get this gasket off so I can get that idle jet out, idle circuit jacket out, and just kind of blow a few holes through a couple things there. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. I'll probably get a X-Acto knife to go into there. Boy, I wish that there it's starting to come off. Maybe because it's not being held down now. It didn't do anything. It's starting to move out. This is good. I got long fingernails right now. Got to go to get a, what do you call it, where you get your fingernails redone. Salon, I don't know. Fingernail store. There we go. I'll probably forget how that goes. It seems to kind of sit in that way. This should go over to go onto here. Of course, that'll be in the way anyway. Let me see if I got a little screwdriver here. Maybe I can get this out here. See if it comes out peacefully. Yeah. I'd sure like to see that clogged up. Oh, look at that. Can you see that mung on there? I think that's what the problem is. You can see it. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Definite problem. Definite problem. That's I'm glad to see it. Actually, the carburetor at this point should come off and get rebuilt. But guess what? We ain't doing that. Yeah. I don't know if there's a check valve in any of those things that I'm probably blowing out. The main jet works. Look at that mung come off of there. The main jet works because let me see if anything blows through there. Yeah, see there's a hole right there that's clogged up. No doubt about that. It wasn't as clogged up as I thought. Or maybe this stuff just loosened it up that quick. But I'm still glad to see that. Yeah, just dump it down the toilet hole right there. I guess I want to close that. And that's not going all the way closed. I don't really like that. I don't know. Well, maybe it shouldn't. I don't know. I'm not a carburetor person, but I probably should take that main jet out and make sure that's clean. This thing seems to have cleaned up pretty good. Yeah, I'm all right with that. I'll set that there. I don't know what it takes to get this out. Guess I found out, didn't I? You know, it really doesn't look, it just got that old crappy gas in there. The main jet's there, down there. There's no point in, it's running so the main jet isn't clogged. I don't know if I need to put a little, I'm going to go get a pair of something or other and put a little kink on this. I'll bring you back in a minute. Well, I got a little bit of a bend on that. I don't know what you're seeing in here until I get it into the video. I want to get it. I can't see. Well, I can't seem to see what I'm doing. So we'll just blast it a little bit. There it goes up there. Definitely something going through there. I'm going to get a towel and absorb all that crap out of there. So that's what I'm going to do next. I don't have any stuff down here. If I was up at the house, I could suck that out of there with a siphon hose, but I don't have it. So I'm going to get a towel and suck all that. You can even see in the camera that it's kind of goofy color, but it's not clogged. So we'll be back in a little bit. Well, we're back at it. I done cleaned everything out that I think kind of needs cleaning. It's kind of glaring on you there now, ain't it? Can't help it. Sorry about that, guys. I need the light. Hands are frozen. I've done a couple screw ups already. I was cleaning everything up and I was wiping things down here and here, and I wiped across that, and whatever was on here, the gas kind of polished off all my numbers on my serial numbers and engine numbers and crap like that. So I got to take a close-up picture on that. Everything was cleaned out in there. I blew out the main jet and all that. Nothing seemed to be clogged. I cleaned this out too, which you can't really tell, but shouldn't wipe it with a cloth, but everything blew out good. So we're going to try to set this thing back down in there, and maybe it'll go. Just kind of don't want to. That doesn't feel right to me. Something didn't. That maybe has to settle down. No, that has to be up in there. No, that's what the problem is. Huh. What did I miss? This goes this way. Maybe this has to go here like that first. Maybe that's spring loaded. Something ain't right, or something doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't just come off of there. So I got to figure out. Maybe it's in the. Maybe that spring loaded and holds that down in there. Maybe that's what it does. The floats still work, I guess. Maybe not. Oops. I dropped the little doodad off of there. Didn't want to do that. Now to get that out, I can't reach down in there. We will be back in a little bit. I got to go get some forceps because my hands won't get in there. And I'm going to put that back together. There's something wrong in that shouldn't have to be tightened down the way I'm tightening it down. You really can't see it. But that needle seat, which you can't see either, is so small that I can't get it with my hands. So I'll be back in a little bit. Well, guys, we're getting there. I got it all back together and it looks good, and I started to put the top on, and then I realized I forgot the idle jet. Not a good thing to forget when you're playing with a carburetor, I guess. I'm going to turn it backwards and then go forwards with it, if you know what I mean. There it goes. If you start screws, a lot of times it's best to just start them a little bit backwards. Don't need to over tighten that. I don't know what was not right down there. Something wasn't right, and I just had the lid on, and it went on fine. So, and it's the same direction it came off of. It feels flat down there. So let's see if we can put the screws in. Put the screws to it. Oh man, fingers are cold. I got some of that carburetor cleaner on there. And even on a hot day, that carburetor cleaner makes your hands feel warm. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, if you turn the screws backwards till you hear them click, then they go in. Hear it click? There it clicked. I'm sure most of you out here that are watching me do this know about that. Had to fix the my front door, not my front door, my up at the house earlier today. There it clicked. It didn't want the deadbolt didn't want to work right. Had to take it all apart and put some lube in it. It feels like it's seating in pretty good. You don't want to tighten one at a time. Well, you tighten one at a time because you only got one screw at a time, but you don't want to overbear one at a time, which once again you guys probably all know about that. Just give them all a little bit of twist until they get snug. I'm just turning it with my fingers. I'm not. That's all this thing needs. It doesn't need to be. A lot of people over tighten a lot of things. All right. I'm gonna hook the choke up and come back, bring you back. I don't know how much time I got invested in this so far, and I'm also going to put a new fuel filter on it before I come back. So there's a couple things I'm going to do. Not too high on the important range, I guess, that you got to see. All right, got to put you back in the pocket, keep you warm. Well, we're back for hopefully the finale. Got the fuel filter changed. Got the choke on. Don't think I forgot too many parts. It probably won't start. I got a little bit of this. We'll just give a shot, pull the choke. Choke comes down fine. Give it half throttle. And let's see what we got here. Well, the fuel filter filled up good. It likes to be a little bit choked, doesn't it? Well, I don't need any of this anymore because it's obviously got gas there. It's got to start on its own gas, not on its drug addict gas. Let's see what we got here. We'll choke it a little bit. Sounds a lot better. Still a little cold. It's still like half idle. Anyway, I'm not doing any more with it because I'm tired of messing with it. I'm putting it back together and let it just run. That governor shouldn't be, it should be more even. So maybe the, it's pretty dirty down in there. It's dirtier than you would think. Well, you know what I see? I see, you know, maybe the timing's off. I guess that must be the timing work there, but I don't know how you change the timing on these. I'm not that advanced. Jeffrey would know. I'm going to put this back together. That freed up. That was stiff before. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4 settings down here for the spring tension. So I'm going to go back and see what the other one is set at. You can't see down in there. It's still getting gas down in there because you can see the film down there. It shouldn't have that. Anyhow, I don't care at this point. It will run, and it needs to just be tested and run. And the more you run them, the better they usually turn out to be. And I don't want it half apart until I mess with it again. So I'm going to put all this nonsense back on. It's tucked over there on the shelf, and put this side back on and see what it'll do. And I still got to get what you guys don't. I still got to get this. Can you see the strap there? I still got to get that out done from the mower, but I don't think I'm going to be getting any leaves today. Just kind of, you know, maybe instead of plowing snow, you could vacuum it up and put it in the thing and then just dump it. Wonder if anybody's ever done that before. Uh-oh, don't give me any ideas. All right. That might be about it for the day. I hope that you kind of like what's nonsense going on. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to put all this together. I'm going to go up and see if I can get the You can't see it up there because you can't see it up there. Can you see up there? I can't see a thing in this screen. It's so bright. I'm gonna go up there and see if I can't get the orchard buggy going and see if it will want to run. It's a Kohler engine. Oh, I gotta go. And what else I gotta do is I gotta go over. What I'm gonna do next is go over there and start one of the lickety log splitters. There's somebody that needed some information on that, and he talked to, I don't know the man's name. It's Kerr, but I don't know his first name. I'm not sure that that's it. So if you're watching me and I mispronounced your name or said something wrong, I apologize. I'm an old geezer and don't do good at stuff like that. But they have a, on the old wood splitters, on the lickety log splitters, I'll explain once I get over there. I'm gonna wrap this stuff up. We'll be over at the lickety log splitter next, seeing if one of those will go. Bye-bye. Oh, I gotta get around back to make this thing go off. All right, what's going on? Well, I didn't get that carburetor back. There's a piece that goes in between there. Oh yeah, this got a lot more. This was frozen solid. I mean, you couldn't move it, and it's got to go down into place and fit into this and that and all that kind of stuff. So I put it up here in a glass jar, put it on there, and keep spinning it, and it's a little like a little greenhouse heating it up. So it's before you couldn't move it at all. And I said I was going to show these lickety log splitters. I came over and started the one. It didn't want to start, and the starter wasn't working real good. The starter's getting old, real old. But I pulled on it until it started. I think it might be warmed up a little bit now. But he wanted to see the bracketry. I'll see if it, oh, I meant to get the, I'll get it in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to turn it off so I can talk. Turn it off so I can talk. He was interested in looking, I guess, at the bracketry on the stuff. And it's all, I guess this is what you're looking for here. Is this nonsense here. And it all looks like something that could be made fairly easy. That's a condenser. This is a cable, just like on a choke cable, comes over to this, which pulls the governor mechanism. So if you have, I don't know what this, that goes to nothing. If you have all this, you might have a hole in there, and it just comes down to this bracketry here. And you can, it's this, I guess it swings on that little spring here and that, and it goes over. You can see it coming through here. It looks like it's a little messed up through there. Where does it hook up to? Looks like it hooks up to this right here, if I'm looking correctly. Yeah, I think that's what it's hooked up to. Or maybe it goes up to that. I'm not sure at that point what it's hooked to. Something's got to pull it over here, so let me see. No, that's coming backwards, so that's not pulling it. No, forward, that's bringing it back, so I don't think it's that. Maybe it is. No, it's a, I don't know how that does that. Maybe it's letting the cable, maybe it's backwards from what I'm thinking, that it's got to loosen it up. Let me, I can't pull the lever and, let's see. Okay, when we go forward, I guess it's moving the governor that way when you pull it forward. Anyhow, I hope that helps you out. I guess that's pulling it back. It wants to go to high speed, so it's pulling the governor back instead of letting it go forward. I'm gonna go get some, ooh, this one needs sharpening a little. It's pretty razor sharp. Go get some oil and put on that, and I'll probably get some fluid film and put on there. Still runs pretty good. See if we can start it one more time. I was talking to Tony on that wood splitter. A lot of people are talking, so it's got this thing back in 55 or 59 or 58 or whenever he designed it, has 2 speeds coming forward. If it hits into something tough, It creates enough pressure in this whole mechanism, which pushes this to a different stage, which pumps oil into the bigger part of this cylinder. Is basically how it works. And then this is the relief valve that lets the fluid come back, which lets it come off high speed to slow speed. So it's a single stage pump with a two size pistons in this thing basically. And Mr. Kerr gave me a lot more credit than I deserve. Oh, I was talking to Tony. This thing is a thing so you can set this at any size log you want, all the way back, and it just, if you get a bigger log, you can just push it down and it'll go back. It's pretty neat in design. This has got to be fixed up in here a little bit. It's gotten a little bit of slop, so it doesn't work too well. This is part of the axle lift and axle let down on this. So a little bit of wood splitter talk. Let's see if it'll start up, and I should go get a piece of wood and put in there, make it do something. I don't have one handy, and it's all covered with snow. Let's see if we can start this thing up and go again. Let it run out of gas. I'm going to start it. I'm going to turn the gas off and let it run out so the gas won't, whatever you call it, turn to gum, Varsol, whatever in the thing. So hopefully it'll start. Maybe not. Huh. Well, made a liar out of me. Maybe you got to turn it back on. Huh. Didn't really know that. Who'd ever imagine you had to turn the gas on to make an engine run? So I'm just going to let it sit there and run out and cover it back up. We'll see you a little bit later. Next, I'm going up to see if I can't get the, that other thing, the orchard thing going. Bye-bye.